Yes, now today we are going to talk about Microsoft Access. That means we are going to interact with the database that is within Microsoft. So what we are going to do, we are going to first of all create a folder. We need to know how to create a folder. That's the first thing that we need to know. So you right click and then you go to new. Of course you click folder. Then you are all aware that this is just the default name of the folder called new folder, so we have to give it a name. Let's say I'm going to call it Sadat, so I'll right click, I go and rename, type there Sadat. That is the name of my folder. If it's a registration number, it could be now like 13. Of course when you type the slash, it will not accept, because it can't accept such the slash in your registration number. So we shall use a minus sign to represent the slash. Of course when you're done with that, if it's stroke ps, you say stroke ps like that. When you're done with creating the folder, you open it. Then after opening your folder, you right click, then go to new. Then we have to look for Microsoft Access database. After finding Microsoft Access database, you can even rename it as well. Sometimes you may tell to rename it or not. Okay, it depends on the question. Let's go to the question here. Look at the question right now. They are not informing us to rename it anywhere, so we can leave it as it is, but sometimes you can be told to rename the file. So if you are told to rename the file at any one moment, you right click and then you go to rename, and then of course you'll have to give it the name that they have asked for. But right now, if you look at the question that we have today, we don't have anywhere where they have asked for it, so we can leave it as it is. Since they haven't asked for it in the question, we go ahead and open it. Double click, we open our file. So this is our environment. Okay, we have managed to open it up, so we are going to interact with it. Right now when I switch to the question, we have our information here. Okay, they're telling us, look at the question, try to zoom that a bit. They're telling us Aba Clinic deals with a lot of patient information which is confidential, but you find at times the patient files get old and start tearing, thus losing critical information. Use the information given below to create a database for Aba Clinic so as to enable the clinic to easily find and retrieve information whenever it is needed. So you're going to come up with a database, a simple one. And the first question, they are saying, using MS Access, create a database called Aba Clinic in the folder you created on the desktop. So when we close this and we go back to, let me try to enable this content. Okay, now we have to create a database. We name it Aba Clinic. You go to file, you click file, then go to open, click open. Sorry, not open, you go to new, then we have to select blank desktop database. You click this one. When you click on it, we shall call it Aba Clinic. Then you click create. When I click create, it has managed to create Aba Clinic. Okay, so we are done with the first part of the question. They're saying create the two tables in the database you have created. So we are going to create these two tables, but because of time I'm going to only include two. I'll only mention two of this. Of course, for you when you are handling this number, make sure you fill in everything, but because of time I'm going to just fill in a few and then we proceed with next question. So I'm going to first right click and then I go to design view. When I click design view, it's going to tell me to name this table. So I'll name it, what's the name of the table here? Patient table. So I'll call it patient table. I press OK, enter. So we have a primary key, it is ID. But now if you go to this table, it is patient ID, so we have to rename this patient ID. I'll copy that, I paste it here because of time. So for you have to do the typing. then we go click this drop down arrow. Of course we have to look for text. Now for on your desktop, on your computer, some of you may have text just alone. Mine, it has long text and short text, so I'll just simply select short text, but for you can select text as it is. Then I'll go to, we have to have this as well, patient name. So patient name, I have to include this there as well. Of course, patient name, let me use preferably long text. Then here gender, now for gender, I may select text as well. Choice is yours, or you can look for lookup wizard. You know, sometimes if you have only two options to select to simplify your work, at times you can just do this. You may either select long text or short text, or you may go for lookup wizard. You click lookup wizard, press OK. What is it saying? Lookup wizard apply to fields of this data type. Make it empty. Gender. Okay, it has failed to work. Let's just go ahead with that. We just proceed. There's no time. Then we have appointment date. So I'll get appointment date. I'll type it there. Now for it, we shall represent it with the data type of date and time. Of course, we need to have something that looks like this. So we have to go to input mask. You go down here, you click that, look for this where you see these dots, click there. We save the table first, then we select this one, this version of the date. This is the one that we are seeing here. Okay, so I'll select that. When I select it, I'll just go to next, then finish. We are done with setting that. Then we wind up with we have the disease ID. Then we select short text. Why I'm selecting here short text instead of number, simply because we also have numeric figures, we also have numeric values, we also have alphabetical values. That's why I'm using short text. If I used only number, it wouldn't accept us to input in the alphabetical letters. Okay, that's why I'm using short text, such that it can easily allow alphabets and figures together. Then of course on your desktops, for you may have text. Okay, so I'll copy this and then I'll put this here. For you to do the typing, the town, I think I should use long text. Now I'm done with creating the filling in this table. Then I want to close this, save. So I need to create another table. For it, it will be let me click table design. Sorry, not table design. Go to create, the create tab, click table. Then we have to rename this table. Click design view. If you want a design view to appear on the screen, you right click on that table, click design view. To tell you to rename it, you have to call it disease table. The disease table. Enter. We have of course the default primary key. Then disease ID. That is our primary key. I'll select short text, disease name. Okay, we have it in short text, but I'll do the needful. I'll place it in long. Then we have consultation fee. Consultation fee is a number. There are figures alone, so I'll simply select number. Then doctor specialist, that will be, let me leave it as long text here. So we are done with also filling in that. So you close that, you save. Now we have already two tables with us. We have two tables with us. we have two tables with us. So we are done with creating the two tables in a database. Now they're telling us assign the two tables with the rightful primary keys. Now when you select the disease table, we shall realize click design view. We already have our primary key, that's the disease ID. It's already allocated. Then we need to confirm and see whether patient table has a primary key. Of course, it also has that. Now if you realize we have disease ID once again in patient table. Now this one, for it, it's a foreign key because it is a primary key coming from another what table. Okay, that's why we also have it here. Now I'll close that. You're done with assigning primary keys. Assign create appropriate forms named patient form and disease form that will enable you populate the above information into the database. Now we need to create the forms. We shall start off with the patient form. So I'll click on patient table, go to create. Now for the form, you go to the form wizard, go to the forms section, click form wizard, select all these fields, click this arrow, select all those fields, click, continue clicking, then click modify the forms design. We are going to call it patient form. Okay, it will be called patient form. So I'll do that and then I press finish. When you're done, this is our form. When I double click on it, it will look nice. This is it. Then we need to create the disease form. Click on disease table, go to the create tab, go to the forms section, click form wizard, select everything, click next, click modify the forms design. Then of course disease form, you type that, then we shall have our forms with us. So we are done with creating the forms. We have both of them, they're already available. Then they're saying create a query with the fields. Okay, they're telling us that will enable you populate the above information to the database. We have to import in this information, but just like what I've said, I don't have time, so I'm going to just input in only like two to three fields on each part. I think I'll put only 2, and then the rest you'll do them on your own. So I'll go to, let me go first of all start with the patient table. Patient table, we have this. Okay, part 1, that's the ID of the patient. Then the name of the patient is who? Jariat. So I'll put the name there. Gender, of course, female. She's a female. Appointment date 23rd 12 2016. When I click that, 23rd 12 2016. Remember, the input must be put. It helps us create this format, come up with this format. Then ID, I want to just do this, and then you put there the ID as well, and then Mbarara, the hometown is Mbarara. When you are done, go to next. You're only going to just input in 2 fields, that is enough. So on your side, for you can type in everything because you already know now what to do. So I'll just copy that, place that here, and then this one is a male. Appointment date 21st 06, so I'll say 21st 06 2016. We're done with that. This is ID. Okay, is that one, and then the hometown Mukono. Okay, now when you're done with that, we close that. Hope everything is there. Yeah, so for you can proceed with the remaining ones since you have got the concept. Now close this, then we wind up with disease form as well. We go to the disease table. You need to have the disease ID, so I'll put that there. Disease name is malaria. Copy that, I'll put it there. Consultation fee, of course, is 5,000, so I'll type here 5,000. Then the specialist is who? Dr. Sarah. So Dr. Sarah, there you go. Then we go to something else. We come to this one here. We import disease ID. the disease is typhoid, and then how much? 7,000. So I'll say 7,000. Now we are done. Then Dr. Tony. Of course, we are now done with everything. I'll save that. We are done with that. So that is it. I'll close this. Now we're done with creating the form. You have, of course, put in some information. You can see the information has come automatically. You can see it is now here. For you can finish up with it. So now I want to close that. What's next? Create a query with fields: patient ID, patient name, disease ID, name it, patient query. Now to create a query coming from patient query, we shall simply click, we shall go ahead and click on the patient table, go to the create tab, click that, then go to where we have the queries section here, where you see my arrow pointer. Click query wizard, select simple query wizard, click OK. Then they want us to have a query that has only the patient ID, with field names of patient ID, patient name, disease ID. So I'll go ahead and select patient ID. What else? Patient name, then of course disease ID. Click next, modify. We are going to call it patient query. So I'm going to do this. So I click finish. We have our query, and automatically it will put the fields there. This is where they wanted the fields to be. So it will help us not to type when we click query wizard. So we are done with that. That's how you create a query. Okay. Then assign generate a report showing the patient's records in Aba Clinic. Generate report. Now for the report, it's something very simple. Once again, let me try to save this. Close the query. We are done with that. Now patient's record, click on the patient table, go to create. To create a report, go to the report section. After clicking the create tab, select or click report wizard, then click here, this double arrow, click next, then go ahead, click next, go here. You are going to call it query patient report, then click finish. This is the report. Okay, we are done with that. This is the report. The same goes to the disease table, because they are telling us also generate a report showing the disease table. So click on the disease table, go to the create tab, look for report wizard in the report section, click that. Where you find double arrows, click that, go to next, modify report design. Shall call this disease report. This is the disease report. Okay, we have now created a disease report as well. So we have disease report, we have the patient report. Hold on. So it looks the same. Hold on, I think there is a mistake somewhere. I want to first delete this one. There is an error somewhere. Let me first try to delete this. Yes. First close this. Before creating another report, you have to first of all close everything. So let me click again, disease table, create tab, report wizard, select all of that, we go here, click next. Yes, so type here report, disease report, and then click next. So you're done with that. So you can see there's a change. Okay, you can see the reports are now changing, but this is how it's supposed to be. So we're done with creating everything. Now one more thing before we wind up. I'm not seeing anything like relationship here. If you are to come up with relationships, because sometimes we can say create a relationship of the disease and what, you question can come. It can be like this. Let me try to paste it around here. Let me say create a relationship. Create a relationship with the disease and patient table. So if you have to create a relationship with that, you'll have to do what? You have to come here, go to the disease table, click create, look for where you have the queries, where you design from the queries, then you go to database tools, okay, where you have database tools, click relationships, okay. I think you have seen that. Just pause the video, okay, and then you see that. So relationships, you click, you select disease table, then we have also the patient table, you add that. Of course we have to close now that we are done with that. Then we have to maintain the relationship. We have now, you see this one where we have disease ID in the patient table, and where we have the disease ID here and disease table, which is of the primary key. This is here a foreign key. So I'll come with my arrow pointer, click here, left click, drag up to where you see disease ID, let go, then click the word create. Okay, enforce, yes, enforce everything, click that, then click create. Okay, it has refused, just enforce one. It has refused, don't enforce anything. Yeah, don't enforce anything. And that is how you create the relationship. Okay, that is how you create a relationship. And that is all for today.
Wait a minute. Who are you?